to satisfy me. Yeah, I said,
hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Joe Bonamassa, Driving Towards the Daylight, the latest effort released earlier this year from Joe Bonamassa. It's his 11th studio album, and I think 7th with producer Kevin Shirley. So, this blues record he's said is more back to basics, has quite a few covers of older blues artists like Robert Johnson and Howlin' Wolf. So, does his effort from the hardest working man in blues deliver like albums, deliver like Dust Bowl, Slow Gin or New Yesterday Live, which is my personal favourite? So, does it keep at the pace he's going, or is he burning too bright? Well, this album starts off with Dislocated Boy, which is one of only 3 songs out of the 11 actually written by Joe Bonamassa. It's mainly a covers album, to be honest, a bit like, Dust Bowl. I think it was more half and half there, but only about, less than a quarter. So anyway, this song, it's mainly about the groove. It starts out with some organs, and it's not long before it gets into the groove. It has a really nice bluesy, relaxed groove to it, almost ZZ Top-like. I mean, obviously there's a difference between Joe and ZZ Top, but stuff like Tres Hombres is all about the groove, and this song seems to be similarish, and it has a couple of nice solos in it. The first solo isn't that long, but the second more than makes up for it, and it's a nice song to open the album, and it definitely sets the tone for the rest of the album. Then we get to Stones in My Passway, and I was looking forward to this song because it is a fantastic Robert Johnson song, and I thought it'd be interesting to see how Bonamassa would interpret it. And just like with Tim Curry's Slow Gin, he just has this ability to take a good song and turn it into a fantastic song. His voice and style really suit the song, and the reinvention is just brilliant. You can still recognise that it is Stones in My Passway, but he puts a different modern blues spin on it, and it is fantastic. I mean, it's what I expected. Didn't expect less, but he certainly does not let Robert Johnson down. And then we get to the main song, well, not main song, the title track and the song that he played, certainly when I saw him earlier this year, before the album came out, which is Driving Towards the Daylight. And as I said, I was lucky to hear this song live, and I thought it was fantastic then, and it still is. It's one of the other, out of the 3 songs written by him. Starts out quite slowly with a gentle rhythm, builds to such a catchy chorus, really catchy song. And it's just great. It's one of my favourites off the album. If he was a type of person who released singles, but he's promised he'd never get a #1 single because he never releases singles, but this would be the single, effectively, if he did. Then we get to Who's Been Talking. This is a cover of a Howlin' Wolf song, and it's interesting. It seems to start out with Howlin' Wolf talking, which is a pretty cool start, before it bursts into a really powerful riff. And the song's riff and vibe is, it's really what makes the song so good. And it reminds me a bit of something like Zeppelin's Black Dog in the sort of way it's formatted, how he sings and then you hear the riff come in. And I do really like that effect. I think it works, very well. And again, the solo in this song especially is of very high quality, but it's Bonamassa, and he is one of the best guitarists out there, and one of the best of all time, in my opinion. Then we get to Got All You Need, and this is a Willie Dixon song. I cannot say I know the original at all of this song, but again, Joe doesn't fail to impress, especially guitar-wise, as he shows off his skills. Another excellent cover. Place in My Heart, and this is a Bernie Marsden song, and everyone loves good old Bernie Marsden. Well, I certainly do, and I love the original of this song. I think it's excellent, but again, Bonamassa still manages to bring something new to the table and reinvigorates this classic song. The solo he does, it's filled with such passion, it's just so stunningly beautiful. I can't put into words, how it is, but just trust me, it's a stunning song and stunning solo. Now, Lonely Town, Lonely Street, this is a Bill Withers song, and it's the longest song on the album, coming at 7:08, which usually means, with Bonamassa, it tends to be the longer the better, because he plays extended solos. But this is another consistent blues track. It just doesn't stand out for me on this album, to be honest. The solos weren't quite as long as I would have thought on a track of, that comes in this length. Still, I do enjoy it. It's just I was a bit disappointed by it, to be honest. It's not one of my favourites on the album. Then we get to Heavenly Soul. This is the 3rd and final Joe original. And it starts out with a nice groove and has a fairly catchy-ish chorus, I suppose. Again, it isn't one of my favourites on the album, again, like Lowly Town, it just doesn't stand out. It's just more, pretty straightforward, expected blues, with a clear rock influence. And, I mean, yeah, the solo is very good, but it just didn't stand out. It's not that much of a memorable track, there's definitely some more memorable tracks, and we're going to be getting to them soon. Okay, then we get to New Coat of Paint, and this is a Tom Waits song. It starts out with some, nice keyboards before Joe's lead line kicks in, and it's a really nice lead line. It shows how the song is going to be fantastic, and to be honest, it delivers. It's one of the highlights of the album, and it fits Joe's voice like a glove, and the guitar he plays is heavenly. It reminds me a bit of Gary Moore, even, the guitar work, which, again, always a good thing, one of the all-time greats in my eyes. And yeah, wonderful song. So Somewhere Trouble Don't Go, the second to last song, and to be honest, it's the second best song on the album. It starts out so nicely with a definite southern flair to it, I'd say. I mean, wow, the song just blew me away, to be honest. It's everything you want from a Joe song, and contrary to the booklet, it was not written by him. It is in fact a cover of a Buddy Miller song, but it does say on the booklet it was written by him. That is not true. It's a Buddy Miller song. But anyway, who cares? It's one of those songs he should keep in his live set, but I bet he won't. Just like good old Heartaches for Nichols, which, Joe, if you happen to be watching this, please put Heartaches for Nichols back in your set. God, that's a good song. Probably his most neglected song. Yeah. Anyway, this song, spectacular. Now, you wouldn't think he could top Somewhere Trouble Don't Go, to be honest, with the final song, but yet he manages to annihilate it and everything on the album with Too Much Ain't Enough Love by Jimmy Barnes, and mainly, and has Jimmy Barnes on vocals, in fact, who's an Australian. I can't remember what his band was called, but I definitely want to check him out after this song. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I was not sure what to expect from this song, didn't know who Jimmy Barnes was, to be honest, but his voice, I mean, oh my god, his voice is just, it's unbelievable. It's like a mixture between the graveliness of Rod Stewart and some of the high notes of Glenn Hughes. If you mix those together, you sort of get Jimmy Barnes, and oh my god, it's just superb. And then Joe's guitar as well is phenomenal, and it just complements Jimmy's voice so well, and then, ascends to such a catchy chorus. It's a classic song, and I think the cover with Joe's is just, yeah, I think it's better than the original, to be honest. I mean, what a way to end the album. Really stunning way to end the album. So overall, this, as usual, it's a really strong Joe album. I mean, he never disappoints. All his albums are fantastic, to be honest. But I don't think I've heard Black Rock yet, actually. I think that's the only one I've never heard, but I've heard not too good things about that. But still, I wouldn't say this is as good as last year's Dust Bowl. I mean, that was a fantastic album, and it's not going to break into the holy trinity of Joe, which I would consider New Yesterday Live, Slow Gin, and Blues Deluxe. Yes, not live at the Royal Albert Hall, weirdly. Anyway, so as usual, I do think that, well, he should have cut down, cut down the amount of albums he releases, as in, I think he should not stick with the one album a year format and move to maybe an album every 2 years. So he has time just to write some more songs. 3 songs on an album. I mean, yes, blues has always had loads of covers in it. On Gary Moore's Still Got the Blues, there's a lot of covers on that album. That's one of the classic blues albums, in my opinion. But, I would like it if maybe at least half the album, I think that's a nice balance, say, 12 tracks, 6 Joe, 6 covers. I'd be happy with that. I just think 3 is just not enough. I want to hear more. I want, to hear more of Joe making his mark on blues and, having a legacy. As much as doing covers of Somewhere Trouble Don't Go and Too Much Ain't Enough Love is amazing, he needs to leave his mark on the blues world and give something for future blues players to cover and cement himself as one of the greatest blues songwriters and guitarists of all time. Anyway, I'm going to give this album an 8.5 out of 10. It's a wonderful, wonderful blues album, and anyone who likes the blues should pick it up, even if the album cover is just abhorrent. God, it's an ugly album cover. I absolutely hate it. Don't know what went through his mind when picking this album cover. I mean, it's horrible. Probably the worst album cover this year, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I couldn't get over it when it was so. I thought the album was going to be bad. Good job you know, don't judge a CD by its cover, or this would be the worst than Lulu. Anyway, this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.